So Ephesians 4, start at verse 17. Paul tells you that the law is spiritual, right? So if you read the law, you can't be like, oh, this is actually talking about a donkey or actually ox. It's not. It's usually talking about people. Like even Yeshua says, if you see your ox go astray on the Sabbath day, will you not restore him, go get him and dig him out the ditch? It's not saying you can break the Sabbath. It's saying it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath days. So if you see your brother go astray into an unjust way, then you're supposed to go rebuke him and judge him to get him in right. Because even the prophets tell you that's how you redeem his people, is with judgment. And that's how even Jehovah is going to redeem his people, is with judgment. So Ephesians 4, verse 17, starting at verse 17. This I say therefore, and testify on Jehovah, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, and in the vanity of their mind. Okay, so it's not even telling you to walk as Gentiles, okay? Because you're not a Gentile no more. You're grafted into Israel. You're Hebrew. You have to have a Hebrew heart, not a Greek mind. So don't walk after your own imagination. Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of Jehovah through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart, who being past feeling, have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. But ye have not so learned Messiah. If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yeshua, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, that ye put on the new man, which after Jehovah is created in righteousness and true holiness. True holiness, not the false holiness, the former holiness, true holiness. Wherefore put away lying. Speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one another. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Okay, so rebuke them. That's what it means to be angry but don't sin. It means rebuke them and don't hold it off. Tell them before the sun goes down. Neither give place to the devil. Let him that stole, steal no more. But rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Jehovah, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even Jehovah for Christ's sake have forgiven you. Okay? Let him steal that steals no more. Okay, that's quoting Jeremiah 23 even, about he is against the prophets that steal his words from another. And the reason why they're stealing his words is because they're taking bribe. Okay, they turn aside judgment in the gate and take a bribe and usury, and pretty much they're lying to you on purpose to get your money, to get those tithes, right? That's what the Bible tells you. It's even in James chapter 5. Okay, so if you believe the Bible, you should believe that it's happening right now, because the Bible tells you it's happening right now. Okay, so this is Exodus 22. Okay. In the Septuagint. You can read it in the King James. It's pretty much the same thing, but this is the Septuagint. Starting at verse 21. Well, verse 16. If anyone deceive a virgin that is betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her for a wife to himself. And if her father positively refuse and will not consent to give her to him for a wife, he shall pay compensation to her father according to the amount of the dowry of virgins. You shall not save the lives of sorcerers. Everyone that lies with a beast, you shall surely put to death. He that sacrifices to any gods but Jehovah alone shall be destroyed by death. What are y'all doing with the Christmas? You're sacrificing all that time, all that money for your Jesus God guy. It's not Jehovah. You're making up another God, even with the Bible, which is how they in Romans 1, they turned the truth of God into a lie and started worshiping the creature more than the creator. Okay? Ye shall not hurt a stranger, nor afflict him. For you are strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall not hurt no widow or orphan. And if you would afflict them by ill treatment, they should cry aloud to me. I will surely hear their voice. Okay, there's a parable in Luke 18, I think, about an unjust judge and how I'll just read it. So Luke 18, starting at verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them to this end, and that men ought always to pray and not to faint, saying, there was in a city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man. Okay, so they're vexing the poor and stranger. They don't really care about people. It's simpler terms. It means you hold the truth from them, and you just be like, whatever. And you go feed your own belly. Ezekiel 34, it says he's going to avenge his people on the pastors that took money from them, usury, taking rewards and shit, to oppress them and his heritage. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I fear not God nor regard man, yet because this widow troubled me, I will avenge her, lest by her continually coming she weary me. And Jehovah said, hear what the unjust saith. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth. The only reason why he didn't avenge them, because it was a burden to him. He didn't really want to. He didn't love his neighbors as well. Right? Okay. So, going back to Ezekiel 22. 22. Ye shall hurt no widow or orphan, and if you should afflict them by ill treatment, and they should cry aloud to me, I will surely hear their voice. And I'll be very angry, and will slay you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children orphans. And if thou shouldest lend money to thy poor brother, who is by thee, thou shalt not be hard upon him. Thou shalt not exact usury of him. That means don't take a reward for him. Okay, I'm helping him. And if thou take thy neighbor's garment for a pledge, right, thou shalt restore it to him before sunset. Give that back to which you robbed. Garment is the Ten Commandments. It clothes the naked. That's what it means to clothe the naked. It means to give them the Ten Commandments, so they're not living in sin no more. Because sin is nakedness. When you sin, what happened in the garden? They was naked, right? It means to turn them from their sin. For this is his clothing. This is the only covering of his nakedness. Wherein shall he sleep? If then he shall cry to me, I will hearken to him, for I am merciful. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor speak ill of the ruler of thy people. Thou shalt not keep back the first fruits of thy threshing floor and press. The firstborn of thy son thou shalt give to me. So shalt thou do with thy calf and thy sheep and thine ass. 7 days shall be under the mother, and the 8th day thou shalt give it to me. And ye shall be holy men to me. Ye shall not eat flesh taken of beast. Ye shall cast it to the dog. Thou shalt not. So this is verse 23. It's pretty much going to explain itself. Thou shalt not receive a vain report, which in the Septuagint is a false report. Okay? The King James is a false report. And thou shalt not agree with the unjust man to become an unjust witness. Thou shalt not associate with the multitude for evil. Thou shalt not join thyself with the multitude to turn aside with the majority so as to shut out judgment. And thou shalt not spare a poor man in judgment. And if thou meet thy enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt turn them back and restore them to him. And if thou see thy enemy's ass falling under its burden, thou shalt not pass by it, but thou shalt help raise it with him. Thou shalt not rest the sentence of the poor in his judgment. Thou shalt abstain from every unjust thing. Thou shalt not slay the innocent and just, and thou shalt not justify the wicked for gifts. Okay, that's exactly what the pastors are doing. They're turning aside judgment in the gate. They're not restoring the ox that went astray. And they're justifying the wicked for reward because they would rather get the money than turn people from sin. They're saying, oh, it's okay to sin, so they can get more people on Christmas. That's literally what the pastors tell you. And if you even go to Ezekiel 18 and Ezekiel 33, it tells you if a man turns from his wickedness and restores the pledge, gives the back to which he's robbed, does judgment and justice, he will live. He will not die. Okay? But you got to keep the 10 Commandments before you do that, or you're